week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. The Infinite Tsukiyomi arc continues in the Konoha 12 battle against Sasori and his puppet army. Color me surprised, this was probably the best episode of this entire Tsunade Infinite Tsukiyomi arc. Now, that being said, let's pump the brakes. This was still not a perfect episode right here. There were a lot of really weird and creative animation and artwork choices, which really sort of made this episode kinda bad. The good news is, this is the episode they should have started with, which was seeing everybody's favorite characters from the Naruto series fighting in some what-if battles. Thinking about the concept of the Konoha 12 fighting against Sasori's puppet army is really awesome. I mean, remember when Sakura and Chio were fighting against Sasori, how well animated that was? The amazing fighting choreography that Sakura was displaying? This would have been a perfect opportunity to see all of these guys going crazy, and most of them do get to do something kinda cool, but it's really just all the same stuff that you've seen before. There's also this other subplot going on where Naruto is just transformed into his Four Tails form, and he basically just wipes the floor with Jiraiya, and Jiraiya is forced to trap him in this, weird swamp attack, and he should have done that from the beginning if he wanted to use that seal on him. I don't know why he didn't. But that's pretty much all that's there for Naruto in the Four-Tail form. He slashes and runs around, does the stuff that we've seen before, and he's brought back to his senses thanks to Sakura and memories of training with his father. The Konoha 12, try as they might, they really just can't take down Sasori's puppets because, unlike the actual storyline where Sasori has 100 puppet army, here he has an infinite amount. He can just keep spewing them out of nowhere as he sort of oddly floats in mid-air. I'm not sure what to make of that. But this scene is kind of cool because, like I said, you get to see everybody teaming up. Sasuke runs in it first, then you got Rock Lee, Hinata, and everybody else. But I really wish they would have given everybody something really cool to do. There's some scenes here that are just, frankly, really awkward. Like this one shot of Tenten and Ino who are about to be attacked by this puppets, and you're like, oh shit, something cool's about to happen, and then nothing happens at all. And you're just like, oh, well, what was the point of all that? And of course, Naruto is the one to save the day. In this version of the storyline, in this Infinite Tsukiyomi world, which takes place in a story in a book, Naruto learns to use the Rasengan by literally doing a Taju Kagebunshin no Jutsu, which is crazy because he must have really been reserving his chakra, and he basically creates 100 clones of himself, which all have a Rasengan. They take out the puppet army, then they use their taijutsu on them, which unfortunately we do not get to see. And of course, the tried and true power of friendship message is shoved down our throats at the very end of the episode as they decide to continue to go against the rules to save their best friends. I'd say the most interesting part about this episode, without a doubt, is at the end, Neji finally acknowledges that the masked man is his father, Hizashi. It hasn't been officially revealed yet, but that's probably going to be the case. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? This was a pretty decent episode. There were times when the animation was actually pretty good, and then there were times when it just looked really bad, and a lot of the characters' faces just looked a little derpy. In fact, I'd say the best animated scene from this week's episode was not even an action scene. It was that candle that was melting at the very beginning as Tsunade was hanging out and continuing to read this book. But it was just really nothing all that crazy. You know, the episode is still just kind of boring. There's a lot of weird lingering shots that just stay around for way too long. Some of the characters move in a really weird way, but honestly, the concept of the episode is a lot of fun. It's just the execution just really isn't all that great. So, like I said, this is the best episode of Tsunade's Infinite Tsukiyomi arc storyline, but that's not saying a lot. It still wasn't a very great episode, and I can really only recommend this to the most hardcore of Naruto fans. They're really the only ones who are going to be able to get anything out of this. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 2 out of 5. Definitely the best that I've seen from this story, but I know it can do better. Before you guys leave today, make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. Did you have a favorite scene from this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you hate it? What do you want to see from the rest of Tsunade's story and the rest of the Naruto Shippuden anime series? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!